Okay, so when you start to feel like the puppy is maybe settling in, maybe you're working on the potty training pretty heavily and it's only 3 times a day instead of two. Or maybe the puppy is starting to kind of take notice of your likes and dislikes and starting to maybe show signs that they're understanding. Um, don't worry because you're still months from being anywhere close to living a normal life. Hey, thanks for making Cheyenne's video a success. I loved that dog. Most challenging dog I have ever dealt with in my life until this dog. So back to Rainy. Okay, she's making progress at this point. We're a few months into it. I'm still going out of my way to do extra spending time with Lester. Here we are watching some of his favorite national herding dog champions. Loves to watch this stuff. He's still doing whatever he can, either to stuff her under the ottoman where she can't get out. You can see here, anytime I hear him barking in another room and her whining in another room, I usually know something's up and I got to turn around and figure it out. I mean, he is doing his part. He's taking an active role in helping me when I need it, but I also need to recognize in him when he needs a break and when it's my turn to kind of tag in and allow Rainy to leave him alone for a few minutes. Anybody who has spent time with an intelligent dog knows that your dog can and will build a resentment for you. If you work it too hard, if you don't feed it right, it'll get mad at you, upset, get bitchy. Seriously. Now, at almost 50 years old, I have gotten to the point where I just work from home. I'm an analyst with a hedge fund here in town. I do a lot of my work between the hours of 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to about 11 o'clock in the morning. That time of day, the dogs are asleep. They don't want me to bother them. It's great. But the rest of the time, if I want to spend time at my computer and work, I have to get help. Working dogs really require that you take them everywhere. They want to be with you, like I said in earlier videos, all the time. So I did. I started taking them everywhere. Started taking her to the lake to do a little project for my friend's parents. Obviously, my kids and I would get them outside on the property any chance we get. We really built this routine that worked really nicely for us. But I can't emphasize enough how important it is for new experiences. Just like with kids, just like with humans, the more you experience, the more confidence you build. The more confidence you build, the better off you're going to be as a person. So we took this opportunity. I was at a marina, put her on a leash, walked her out, and introduced her to an army of sea lions. And it's amazing the response you get from animals when they see other animals for the first time. I can't stress enough how important this has been. In all seriousness, though, you will start making little bits of progress. The dogs will start coexisting. You'll see it. It'll happen. Oh, the excavator. Rainy hid most of the time while Lester was all over the place. But she'd be right there with the wood chopping. I mean, just the whole time it is I'm trying to get him, I'm trying to catch him, I'm trying to be as brave as him, I'm trying to follow him.
Not to touch me.
They really end up kind of becoming siblings.
This is mine. This is mine. I don't know what it is, but it's mine.
So sometimes we like to play milk races. Keeps the food guarding down. At this house, you just learn to share. If one dog eats out of another dog's bowl, big whoop. We just share here. Kids, dogs, everybody.
Granny's coming in hot. She's lapping hard. Oh, God, she's licking hard. And it is gone. And
I did get pretty lucky. I mean, Lester's this way too, but the recall, when I bang on the window, she usually listens. And this started pretty early.
Magnetic levitation.
At this point, her vaccinations were done. She was really starting to, she was still showing massive signs of aggression and anxiety, but I just kept taking her around other dogs. Yeah, this guy, how could you not feel confident around that outfit? Well, you guys will be the first ones. Cheyenne was the spark that caused the invention, but this is a device I actually invented to make sure Cheyenne couldn't run away when we were doing our first off-leash training when we got her to Washington. So I had an old one lying around, and I hooked it up on Rainey for a little bit, just kind of during the early stages of her being off outside. Worked great. So kind of a recap, we went from this little ball of fluff that Lester would totally ignore, keep away from, not get anywhere near, to suddenly he's helping me, doing what he can, taking her off my hands, putting her in her place. I mean, and she just pushed and pushed and pushed the whole way. It's still going on like this. It's a different dynamic now, and we're getting closer. The videos, this isn't going to be a 200-part series. Rain will probably be, we'll probably be caught up to live Rain in about a month.
Stop it. I am not your fight. I am not your fight. You be nice to me. I'm the one who feeds you.
If I had a video camera running a few weeks ago, the stuff I've missed is unbelievable. She would get pretty mouthy. She's bitten me a couple times, pretty hard. She's bitten my youngest son a couple times, during playhouse, roughhouse time.
You're doing a good job. You're coming right along. You are. Except for that stuff. That stuff's getting kind of old. No, Lester's not liking it either.
Now, this is starting to slow down. They still do wrestle pretty much one time a day. But back when she was this young, I mean, Lester had to put up with this for hours. Watch Rainey just take all this in, learning from Lester. Now, you're going to see Lester start barking at me. Now, one thing Lester doesn't do, he doesn't just erupt into barking in the house without wanting something. Now, notice Rainey. She's paying very close attention to what Lester is doing. Sees him, sees me ask what he wants. He takes me straight to the door, so I know he wants to go outside. He thinks he hears the squirrel. So he's going to take off up the hill. But what's really good is Rainey doesn't quite want to go up there with him all by herself. So she is a little bit nervous about this. But that's good. I don't want her to be absolutely fearless. I don't want her to want to attack everything and anything to get to me. However, on the flip side of that, my neighbor's dogs, who are these barking big hunting dogs tied to trees, literally barking all day, neighbor telling me, stay away from the dogs, they're dangerous. She wants to go visit them, and she's not afraid of any other dog at all. No fear. Absolutely no fear.
I'm a sexy little beast, aren't I? Oh, you looking at me? You're not looking at me. You looking at me? Yeah, you're looking at me, aren't you? You looking at me? Stop looking at me. Look at him.
Sit. Yes, I did say I don't use treats often. But every once in a blue moon, I'll bring home a raw rib roast and give the dogs each a bone. They love you forever. Given that first bone, though, it did cause Rainey to get a little protective. She's definitely working herself out of this. In the meantime, we just try to stay right on our normal routines. Lester and I and the boys have been playing catch since he was a puppy, and he chases the ball back and forth and back and forth. He's gotten pretty irritated with Rainey because she doesn't like it because she's not the center of attention. But again, it's all working right into the family.